we have not one but two champions in the studio. Welcome, Orange Cassidy, Kris Statlander. Welcome to iHeartRadio. Welcome to KISSFM. Welcome to the Hot Tag Podcast.
Thank you for having us.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome back to Orange.
Yes.
You were here not too long ago. I feel like you guys live in Chicago at this point.
Chicago is definitely AEW's. I would if we had a home. Daly's place is probably in Jacksonville, probably our home just by default because
we lived there for over a year, basically.
COVID. But
we don't say that word around here.
That's right.
We'll edit that out.
Yeah. Bleep it out so that people really guess what I said. Chicago is definitely where we had, the first All In, I believe, and this is the place that we always come back to when, it's like, you go away to, I don't know if you go away to like college or you go away somewhere and then you come back home and like you go to your house and the fire's there and mom's cooking dinner and it just smells right. You know what I mean?
That's what Chicago is?
To me. It just smells right. Feels right.
Okay, so fun fact about Chicago, living here for so long, it actually smells like cookies sometimes. There's a chocolate factory not too far from downtown, and if the wind is blowing in such a way, you'll get a whiff, and you'll say, "That is lovely."
Delicious.
Well, I want to thank you guys, and before we get into the questions here, the hard-hitting journalistic questions. Just kidding. We're just gonna have fun and be stupid. I want to commend you guys. Literally, you guys have like the roughest schedule normally, but within the last week, you've been all over the globe. So it must be kind of cool going from the States to England, obviously, back here in Chicago. It must feel good to just hang out here for a little bit of time.
Yeah, definitely. It was a lot of travel the past couple weeks, but it is, you don't really think about the travel as much because what the finish line is, what the why you're doing it. And when we went to England, London at Wembley Stadium, where it was the biggest paid wrestling crowd ever in the history of professional wrestling.
Hell yeah!
It was like 80,000 people. When you experience something like that, it's like, yeah, okay, I'll be tired. I'm always tired, but extra
makes it
tired.
Worth it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Do you work better like that, like on that pure adrenaline, Kris? Would you say?
I don't know, because I feel like I haven't gotten a chance to have a match where I was just fully rested and just fully ready to go, ready prepared. I heavily rely on caffeine a lot, and maybe I would do even better if I got a full night's of sleep before wrestling, but I don't get to do that often. I've done it. Before AEW was a thing, I've had a show in Maine, and then I drove back home to Long Island, and then I realized once I got home at 7 in the morning that my next show was a matinee show, and I was like, oh, I gotta go now. So I just stayed up, I worked out, I showered, and then I just got back on the road, and then I wrestled again, and then I drove home right after.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think the fans understand that schedule, how brutal it is. For me to do this to travel is whatever, but you guys are putting your body in all this, physical stress. So the rest is important. So I commend you guys. I just want to say that to start off. Also, we're in the fields right now for some reason. Do you know how great of an impact you guys have on your fans in general? Do you understand that? Because the reason I asked that is because I've been a lifelong fan since I was 8 years old, right? So I used to watch as a kid with, my stepdad and my siblings, and then growing up as an adult with my best friends, and I'm trying to get my wife in. She's still watching HDTV, but she'll come over eventually. But I met Hulk Hogan years ago, and I literally said to him, I said, dude, I'm nice to meet you. You were the positive role model in my life when I had none. And he takes off his glasses and he says, brother, wow, that's deep. It's just, and I'm one person. I'm one human being. Do you guys realize the impact that you have? Or does it get lost sometimes?
Probably both. Because sometimes with how hectic our schedules are, we just kind of keep going and we're just worried about making it to the next place, making it through the next match, just making it home sometimes. That sometimes what we're doing this for, which is for the fans, ultimately. Sometimes you don't realize that until we get to, fortunately, do a lot of meet and greets and meet a lot of people all the time, and the amount of people that always come up to me and they'll just bring me gifts just for being me, and I'm just like, I'm just out here.
That's not what you signed up for.
Yeah, I'm just out here
cool.
living my life, just doing what I do. But it is a very rewarding feeling to know that just trying to be me for everyone and for the world to see, that just means so much to people.
I think sometimes we get lost in our own world.
Yeah.
And then we get a little, we get stressed out about other things or think about things a little too much. And then when I hear Jane playing and I walk out, and there's always has to be a small child dressed as me waiting for me to give him a fist bump. It's a very positive reminder of, hey, it's okay.
We're doing good.
Well, just so you know, for every one, and you guys know, you probably grew up as fans, obviously. For every one kid you see dressed as you, there's millions at home that are taking it all in. There's a little kid in the middle of Iowa that's just idolizing you. So I just think it's really cool what you guys do and the impact that you have. It's unlike anything else. There's no other connection in the entertainment industry like professional wrestling.
I always tell people to come to a show. I say you have to come to a live show. Mm-hmm. You can watch it on TV and it's wildly entertaining, but the live show is especially me, the fans, the people in the seats directly affect what I'm doing. They will affect my performance. They will affect what happens directly, and I'm not saying that as that's real. If you cheer louder, guess what? I do better. That's real. And I think you can't go watch a movie and then start cheering for Captain America and then he'll throw his shield harder. That's just, hey, guess what? Kris is going to throw a shield as hard as he's going to throw it on that day. But us, it affects us absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, speaking of that live experience, we've got a lot of them coming up.
Yeah.
A lot of them here this weekend. I will try and sneak my way into the United Center on Sunday night because you can't have All In and then not have All Out. I mean, that just doesn't make sense, right?
Impossible.
Right.
Yeah.
So All Out is Sunday. Both of you, huge matches.
Yes.
Talk about your opponents and what we can expect from that night overall. We'll start with you, Kris.
All right. So this is my first ever pay-per-view title defense as the TBS champion. I've had a bunch on television, but this is my first ever pay-per-view as me walking in the champion. So that's a huge moment, especially after it took so long for me to get to this point due to both my knee injuries where I tore both my ACLs, not at the same time. So it was even longer time off. And that was such a huge uphill battle in itself, just recovering from one, having it all happen again, having to recover from it, being like, am I even still worthy of having a title? Just all the mental struggles that go with it. It really takes a toll on you a lot. And I try to not think about it when it's time for me to wrestle, because that's, in the moment, wrestling is what's important. It's not about me. It's not about anybody else. It's about that performance and making sure that I'm doing the best that I can. And it took so long to get to this point. Ruby is someone that I've wrestled twice before. I've never beaten her. So it's a lot about redemption for me. It's a lot about proving that I'm a worthy champion to myself. And this is a lot about proving to the whole world that this is so important.
Yeah.
And, the TBS title is just as important as any other title. The women are just as important as any other wrestler. That we're not women wrestlers. We're all just wrestlers. And I have a lot to prove Sunday. So
can't wait to watch you prove it. And yeah, Ruby is an incredible opponent, but I can hear the emotion in your voice. This feels like it's going to be a moment when you walk out there, but I feel as though as soon as you do walk out there, it's just like a whole new Kris Statlander just comes out.
Absolutely, yeah. The Kris that is right about to walk through the curtains is a totally different person from the Kris that is right outside the curtains in front of the whole crowd. I don't know why. It's because it's still me either way, but the second I step out there, I'm like, this is it. This is me. I know what I'm doing. I'm good to go.
And then we got old Orange Cassidy over here, who hasn't really had a lot of matches recently at all. Has been kind of keeping it quiet. Just kidding. The man has been wrestling and winning for, I don't know, God, how long. Guy by the name of Jon Moxley. Is this the toughest opponent you faced since holding the international title?
I don't want to sit in this chair and say it's not, because I'd be a liar, because he is the toughest. I mean, we all know it is. You can't, people listening to this cannot see, but I have giant fork marks on my forehead, and it's like
Oh my God!
It looks infected, but it's not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
You might.
that's always fun.
Not so much here.
That's always fun. Yeah, not here, not there, but like right.
Yeah.
I've been the international champion for almost a year. I've defended the championship over 30 times. I felt like for the past 6 months I've been wrestling every single week for this championship, because 4 years ago when I started here at AEW, I was the thing that everybody was like, oh, this ain't gonna work. Who is this guy? He's just a joke. He's just a mascot. He's making a mockery of professional wrestling. And then we cut to now, where I am wrestling more than anybody else. I am defending more than anybody else. I am out there doing it, and I am the champ. I am the champion. I'm the international champion. This championship symbolizes my growth in AEW. So to say that on Sunday I'm just gonna just roll over for Jon Moxley is that just can't happen. This is probably the most important match of my life, coming off the second most important match in my life, where I bled a bucket in front of 80,000 people in Wembley Stadium. So Chicago is a special place for me, because this is where I first had my first singles match against Pac at Revolution. So to come now and have this match against Jon Moxley, I think if you're an AEW fan, you've been following for a while now, you know how important this match is to me and to this championship.
Yeah, if you can somehow get tickets, do it. I don't know if there's much left. Pay-per-view as well is an option. Man, can't wait for the entire card. It looks absolutely epic, and the Chicago crowd is going to be wild like we always are. Switching gears, if you could fantasy book yourself, think about this, with any wrestler of all time, dead or alive, with a stipulation, what would that be?
I think my opponent would be my bed, and I would have to, and we probably go an Iron Man match, which is probably we have to go a full 24 hours just sleeping. Kris, what's your answer?
The bed wins.
The bed always
undefeated.
wins.
Yeah.
I'd probably have to pick my emotions as my opponent. I'd be wrestling with my emotions, and it would be a last man standing.
Oh.
It's just so funny because we just gave total non-answers.
Which is why I love you guys. Yeah, we don't want normal. Normal's not allowed here. What's on your Mount Rushmore? Give me one of finishers of all time, like your favorite finisher that is not your own, that you've seen, or maybe that you've taken, that you think belongs up there, like the Lincoln or the Washington of wrestling finishers.
Well, there's no finisher that I've taken that I'm going to say I love, because that
True.
means I lost.
Okay, so what's the toughest finisher you've ever taken?
Oh man, I don't know.
Hey, here's a fun fact. They all hurt.
Yeah.
There's a reason why people use them as a finisher.
Yeah.
I took...
ouchie.
This past... I don't know when this is going to be released, but this past Wednesday on Dynamite, I wrestled Penta. And let me tell you something. Penta is... he's dangerous. And he's good. He's very good. And that was for the championship.
Yeah.
Even though I'm wrestling on Sunday.
Right.
Sometimes
You won with a crucifix. We saw.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to do it.
Yeah.
He gives me that thing where he grabs my arms and my legs and then jams my head into the mat. Just because that's fresh on my neck, Yeah, that's why.
Not a fan.
All right, we'll put that on the Mount Rushmore. We are a music station as well. I got to know about your music styles. Put your favorite artist. We're gonna make a playlist here of all the celebrities that we interview, and you guys is gonna go on there. Favorite artist and song that you would put on this playlist. You get one. I know. Any genre.
I mean, I know. I'm going to tell you right now what it is.
Mine?
No, mine.
You go first, because I've got...
All right, I'm putting Dua Lipa Physical on it.
Ooh, what? Did not see that coming at all.
This is what happens.
Are you a Dua Lipa fan? Orange Cassidy?
Of course. But then I would also maybe talk about putting some New Order on there, because
yes, little new wave.
We're all a little goth on the inside. And then I'm really buying time so Kris.
No, I have mine.
You did new Dua Lipa and New Order. That's great.
I'm gonna pick, just because the song makes me very happy, I'm gonna do "Dancing in the Moonlight" by King Harvest.
Dancing in the Moonlight by King Harvest. One of my favorite King Harvest songs.
It just that version of it is just so like mellow and upbeat, but it just makes me feel
and
very happy.
then we're also gonna put Boney M, Daddy Cool on there too.
Okay.
Now you guys are speaking like tongues I don't understand. That's okay. We'll look at it.
I don't know that one
People will
either.
Google Boney M.
Yeah, careful
Cool.
googling Boney anything.
But
Just
those kids, they know Rasputin. Boney M does Rasputin, that
Okay.
song. That's a TikTok thingy, I don't know. I miss Vine. Remember Vine?
I do. That was the original TikTok, and then it went away. And then
Vine, it was the best.
whoever invented Vine must be like really depressed right now.
Right? But didn't Facebook buy it?
Probably. That sounds about that.
This is Vine chat now.
Welcome back to Vine Chat. Guys, I appreciate the time. I'm going to do a thing. It's called Emoji Association, like word association, but emoji. You got to give me the emoji that pops in your head. I'm just going to give you an AEW wrestler and give me the emoji, okay? So first one we'll start with is, let's go John Moxley. Orange. Emoji.
Pumpkin head. Jack-o'-lantern.
I was thinking the wrench. Is there a wrench one? I feel like
There is. There's
Yeah.
got to be a tools.
Some
Like
sort of
it's a
tool.
wrench and hammer.
You need fork.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking
That's
a tool.
good.
I don't know. Not.
I get you.
Not like
I
that.
understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
How about Soraya? An emoji for Soraya.
Probably the ghost. Winky ghost.
Like the Snapchat guy, but he pops in your emoji. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
good. That's
I was thinking a nail. I'm just thinking of.
good. You're in the work. You're at the
What's on
workbench.
your brain?
You're on the workbench right now.
And my dad's a mechanic. I don't know.
Jeez.
Oh, it makes
You
sense.
didn't say anything mechanical.
How about let's go Don Callis? What emoji?
Probably. Seriously, this is the first thing that popped in my head. Probably the building emoji.
Okay.
Well,
Like he's-
I
he
don't know
lives-
why.
like he lives in a
You're
city.
It's just association, right?
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah,
It just
yeah.
popped in my head.
I was thinking like the just because of all the artwork and stuff that he's been associated with, like the painter's tray with the different. Like,
Bob
the-
Ross guy. Like
yeah,
the
I forget what it's called, but that
the paint tray.
the
Paint
paint
tray.
tray
Yeah,
with
yeah.
all the colors.
Man, I should know that word.
I know
don't know
it,
what
but I
that word
can't
is.
think of it right now.
Doesn't matter.
All right, the first person that calls in. Oh wait, this isn't live right now.
No, nobody's calling.
That's a bit. I know.
Yeah. Last one. We'll go. Let's go Young Bucks. Emoji.
I think there's an emoji where there's two heads and they both have their hands up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for some reason I was thinking the one that's like the half wink with the tongue out like that.
Oh yeah.
That's what I thought.
I was thinking the twin girls that dance.
Yeah.
Because that's as close
the
to
one.
a kick that you
That's
get,
the one.
and
That's the one.
they're light on their feet too.
Yes,
you
they
know?
are.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Okay, guys, cannot wait for Sunday and Saturday too. We have Saturday night
Saturday Collision.
and then falls right into Sunday. All Out, which follows All In, record crowd, Wembley Stadium. Y'all are on a roll. Go get some rest. The bet is undefeated. Your emotions,
We're working it out.
Okay, you'll work it out. Don't worry. That's why we're here. But thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thank you.